The Caribbean Social Forum meets the Motivator Show, Britain's biggest Caribbean organisation. The CARICOM Community and Common Market, or CARICOM, was established by the Treaty of the CARICOMAS, which was signed by Barbados, Jamaica, Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, and came into effect on August 1st, 1973. CARICOM member countries include Antigua, Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent's and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. The Caribbean Community, or CARICOM, is an organization of Caribbean countries and dependencies established to promote economic integration and cooperation, a true Pan-Africanist organization. The overwhelming majority of the peoples of African heritage found in the Caribbean and the Americas, both North and South, mainly come from the Senegambia, Sierra Leone, Gold Coast, the Bight of Benin, the Bight of Biafra, the Windward Coast, West Central Africa, Congo, and Angola. European transatlantic chattel slave trade between 1600 to 1900. Around 12.5 million men, women and children were forced shipped from Africa to the Americas. The main European countries involved include Britain, France, Netherlands, Portugal and Spain. European enslavers caused deaths during the Middle Passage. An estimated 1.8 million Africans died on board ships due to disease, starvation, suffocation, or abject violence. The African population. Africa has now 1.4 billion people. Africa has the world's youngest population, averaging 19.2 years. In the diaspora, the African population now exceeds 250 million people. After World War II, Britain was shattered, bombed cities, a crippled economy, and a depleted workforce. To rebuild, it needed people. Across the empire, the Caribbean heard the call. Citizens of Britain's colonies saw the mother country in need and answered. This is the Windrush story. Men and women who crossed the Atlantic with hope, skills and belief in Britain. They didn't just repair infrastructure. They gave Britain new life, reshaping its soul forever. 1948 was pivotal. The NHS was born and the British Nationality Act granted colonial citizens the right to live and work in the United Kingdom. When the Empire Windrush docked with over 1,000 passengers, optimism was high. Many were ex-servicemen and women, nurses or skilled workers. Calypsonians, Lord Kitchener, captured the spirit, singing, "London is the place for me," but the welcome quickly soured. Britain's housing crisis exposed migrants to rejection. Crude signs read, "No Irish, no blacks, no dogs." Many were forced into poor, overpriced housing, sometimes even underground shelters. At work, skilled men and women were pushed into low-paid, unwanted jobs. The psychological toll was immense, but they persevered. Their contribution was indispensable. Caribbean nurses and midwives became the backbone of the NHS, filling tens of thousands of vacancies. Guyana Daphne Steele became the NHS first black matron in 1964, a symbol of quiet revolution. In transport, over 6,000 were recruited from Barbados, Jamaica and Trinidad to keep London buses and trains moving. Others work in construction, rebuilding bombed-out cities, paying taxes to support the welfare state. Culturally, they remade Britain. Music, calypso, ska, reggae reshaped the soundscape. Sound systems became hubs of resistance, later influencing punk, grime and hip-hop. Caribbean food, jerk chicken, curry goat patties became staples. Notting Hill Carnival, born from defiance after racist riots, grew into Europe's largest street festival, declaring proudly, "We are here, we are here." They also fought for justice. The 1963 Bristol bus boycott ended colour bars in hiring and helped spark the Race Relations Act. Their activism pushed Britain towards fairness and equality. The legacy is everywhere. Children and grandchildren of Windrush pioneers excelled in politics, sport, literature and art. Linford Christie, Tessa Sanderson, Andrea Levy and Benjamin Tipperary, all hears of this resilience. Caribbean slang, music and cuisine are now integral to British identity. But pride is overshadowed by betrayal. The 2018 Windrush scandal exposed thousands wrongly treated as illegal immigrants, some deported from the country that they had built. Though apologies were issued, justice remained incomplete. This is a story of contrast, invitation and rejection, racism and resilience, struggle and triumph. Caribbean migrants answered Britain's call, built its services, enriched its culture, and reshaped its identity. The Britain of today, diverse, dynamic, multicultural, is their gift to us all. Listen to the words of Pamela Fanking, CEO and founder of the Caribbean Social Forum.
Common to every person, regardless of what age or race they are. We've all missed that hug. Hug your mum, hug your brothers or sisters. Whenever we talk to our members, ask what they miss more. They miss hugging their grandchildren or their children or their husbands. We just thought if we can do something that reflect hugs and reflect people reaching out and realise if we all was to be a helping hand to someone, it can make someone else's life better. Even for myself, I'm sort of living on my own. My neighbours gave a helping hand by lifting up my garden fence and cutting one of the spoon during the lockdown. They couldn't do much else, and they gave a helping hand and go to pick up shopping for me because I don't drive. And I could give a helping hand by just ringing someone and having lunch with them over WhatsApp video because it wasn't seen anywhere else except for on Zoom. I'm just having lunch with someone, cooking a meal, and we both share our meals over. That was a helping hand.
The Caribbean Social Forum exists to provide a supportive, culturally affirming space for older Caribbean and Caribbean heritage people, typically above the age of 50, to meet, to socialize, to share experiences and combat isolation. to reconnect and preserve Caribbean cultural identity. A taste of the Caribbean through food, music, dance, storytelling, discussion for people far from their homeland. Improve overall well-being, mental health, social health, reduction of loneliness, amongst other elderly Caribbean communities, especially those who may be marginalized. Honor the contribution of Caribbean elders and ensure that their later years are dignified, engaging, and fulfilling. Provide intellectual, emotional, and social stimulation through talks, discussion, creative activities that counter cognitive decline and promotes active aging. In short, it is a community-based initiative to enable Caribbean elders to live socially connected, culturally meaningful, healthily, empowered lives in later years. To contact the Caribbean Social Forum, email address caribbeansocialforum@gmail.com. Telephone number 0844 357 3700. You are most welcome. The Caribbean Social Forum meets the Motivator Show, Britain's biggest Caribbean organisation. The CARICOM Community and Common Market, or CARICOM, was established by the Treaty of the CARICOMAS, which was signed by Barbados, Jamaica, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago, and came into effect on August 1st, 1973. CARICOM member countries include Antigua, Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent's and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. The Caribbean Community, or CARICOM, is an organization of Caribbean countries and dependencies established to promote economic integration and cooperation, a true Pan-Africanist organization. The overwhelming majority of the peoples of African heritage found in the Caribbean and the Americas, both North and South, mainly come from the Senegambia, Sierra Leone, Gold Coast, the Bight of Benin, the Bight of Biafra, the Windward Coast, West Central Africa, Congo, and Angola. European transatlantic chattel slave trade between 1600 to 1900. Around 12.5 million men, women, and children were force shipped from Africa to the Americas. The main European countries involved include Britain, France, Netherlands, Portugal, and Spain. European enslavers caused deaths during the Middle Passage. An estimated 1.8 million Africans died on board ships due to disease, starvation, suffocation, or abject violence. The African population. Africa has now 1.4 billion people. Africa has the world's youngest population, averaging 19.2 years. In the diaspora, the African population now exceeds 250 million people. After World War II, Britain was shattered. Bombed cities, a crippled economy, and a depleted workforce. To rebuild, it needed people. Across the empire, the Caribbean heard the call. Citizens of Britain's colonies saw the mother country in need and answered. This is the Windrush story. Men and women who crossed the Atlantic with hope, skills, and belief in Britain. They didn't just repair infrastructure. They gave Britain new life, reshaping its soul forever. 1948 was pivotal. The NHS was born and the British Nationality Act granted colonial citizens the right to live and work in the United Kingdom. When the Empire Windrush docked with over 1,000 passengers, optimism was high. Many were ex-servicemen and women, nurses or skilled workers. Calypsonian Lord Kitchener captured the spirit, singing, "London is the place for me," but the welcome quickly soured. Britain's housing crisis exposed migrants to rejection. Crude signs read, "No Irish, no blacks, no dogs." Many were forced into poor, overpriced housing, sometimes even underground shelters. At work, skilled men and women were pushed into low-paid, unwanted jobs. The psychological toll was immense, but they persevered. Their contribution was indispensable. Caribbean nurses and midwives became the backbone of the NHS, filling tens of thousands of vacancies. Guyana Daphne Steele became the NHS first black matron in 1964, a symbol of... Oh, yeah. That was a powerful intro video. And if you haven't watched it, I urge you to watch it. It's full of facts, full of details, full of the evidence of the resilience of the African Caribbean peoples, both in the Caribbean and most certainly here in Britain. We'll have their leaders speaking to us directly here on The Motivator Show, because this is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. How you feeling, people? How you feeling? I'm feeling fantastic. Oh my gosh, it's been a wonderful few days. I've encountered so many truly inspiring human beings. Wow. Oh yeah, I hope today finds you well. I hope today finds you well. So you find this podcast yet another truly inspirational experience. All right, let's go right into it, shall we? Let's go right into it. In approximately 30 minutes, we'll have the main interview. But between now and then, I've got a few announcements and a few important messages to share with you. And let's begin first of all. We need to thank Stephen Saleh of the Marindina Foundations. Wasn't he able to articulate the truth behind our food? Our food is our medicine. I want to applaud him. And of course, remember his father, Professor Charles Sarley. Okay? Or coin that phrase, or indeed remind us of that phrase, that our food is our medicine. I want to give a big thumbs up to him. Okay. After this particular podcast, following his interview here on the Motivator Show, we've organized that interview, which went on for over 2 hours, okay, into 30-minute slots. Okay. So we have an entire podcast series devoted to him. And it is jam-packed full of incredibly important information, useful information that you can use for yourself, your family, and indeed your wider communities. Big thumbs up to Stephen Sarley of the Marion Dina Foundation. Well done to you. Well done to you. We're going to give you such publicity, I'm assuring you. Well done, Stephen. Well done. Continue your outstanding works. Thank you for being here on The Motivator Show. Thank you. I also, of course, because we've had quite a few, in fact, all of my guests this year have been truly inspirational. I'm not going to distinguish one or the other. They've all been inspirational. I want to just recognize them. I want to recognize, you recall that remarkable young lady. I've had quite a few remarkable women, I must say, you know. In fact, I have. In fact, they've all been far better people than I. Okay. I want you to remember Lillian. You remember representing Kenya, our youth, our future. Mhm. Reminding us all, of course, that Africa has the youngest population in the world, 1.4 billion people. And the average age, is below 20 across all the countries, okay? Yeah. 75% of Kenyans are below 35 in age. Can you imagine? Yeah. And what she represented and how she was able to present the Motherland African Youth Foundation, supporting young people, okay, right from the cradle right up to age 35, to enable them to realize their potential. Mhm. I want to give a big shout out to the Motherland African Youth Foundation in Kenya and its tributaries across that part of Africa. Well done. Keep up the good works. We're here to support you. And we'll get her back in here. There's much she wants to share with us. And we'll be working with her on a number of other projects. So well done. Well done. I also want to remember, and because this is, again, another one of our campaigns. You recall that very provocative title. I know it was provocative. Do black women hate their hair? Well, I've got to say, that one most certainly sparks some discussion, huh? Oh, yes. What a thank Kelly. Yeah. She articulated the truth about our hair and the politics around our hair. Okay. And particularly African women here in the so-called West were encouraged to chemicalize their hair, okay, to make it look like something other than our hair in order to look professional. Propaganda, 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 negative propaganda. We know now that many of these products, which are not made in our communities, contain chemicals that are harmful if used over a long period of time. And often these products are used over a long period of time. Endocrine disruptions are caused by them. Yeah. You see too many of our women with receding headlines. Yeah. These false hairs, which are either dead people's hair, dead women's hair, or dead animals' hair, yeah, or indeed of this full of chemicals which are harmful if exposed for a long period of time. But these are not said on the labels, yeah, because they look at the effect on the immediate, on yourself immediately, but not over the long term. There's ample evidence to suggest that we should be using these products with extreme caution. So we are going to launch the campaign on the 18th of October. One, to seek greater regulation of hair products. Mhm. So their long-term impact on the human physiology, on particularly on women, okay, can be properly assessed. Two, that the industry, the hairdresser and barber industries, okay, are properly regulated. So you have to be qualified to work on someone's hair, which is an integral part of their bodies. And thirdly, and this is for us, particularly people of African heritage, that the knowledge how to maintain one's hair is shared. Because there are hundreds of millions of Africans out there who do not know how to maintain their own hair, their own God-given hair, which is unique to African peoples. It is a campaign that's already has gathered pace. We will hold the Lord session on the 18th of October. Okay. And if you wish to come along to that session, details will be displayed later on in this podcast. But I want to continue to highlight the issue as one of serious concern. Because where products are harming the peoples, we must give light to that harm and not and ever ignore it. Praise be, praise be. More details will follow. More details will follow. And my last quick announcement, and a guest which was truly inspirational. I've got to mention this one very carefully, and I want to say it because it is to do with Jamaica. Jamaica had its recent general election. We had representatives of PNP UK, or People's National Party UK. Mhm. And they were able here on the Motivator show to review the PNP manifesto and what it will mean for ordinary Jamaicans, ordinary people. And they gave a truly powerful testimony of the quality, the thoughtfulness, the compassion embedded in that manifesto. So we want to, here on the Motivator Show, to congratulate the PNP for more than doubling the number of seats that they had. Prior to the election, they only had 14. At the end, they had 28 seats. They doubled the number of seats. A tremendous undertaking. A tremendous undertaking. They didn't win the general election, but they most certainly can hold their heads up high. I say to Comrade Goldie, you can hold your head up high. And we hope to have you here on the Motivator Show. Hold your heads up high. But I'm confident that next time round will be your time. Time come. Praise be. Praise be. I know you all will understand those sentiments. I know you all will understand those sentiments. It's now important for me to give one final announcement, okay? And I want to give this announcement because this is to do with our tremendous country and with our tremendous leader, His Excellency President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, okay? A country which is demonstrating that when you finally throw off the shackles of colonialism, and you take complete control of all the means of production, yeah? and you institute policies that protect the peoples, okay, the people will rally around and protect you. Burkina Faso continues to impress me as I study the local newspapers. Okay, the works of that government is outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And we need to get the UK representative here back in the studio to update us on the progress made by the current government of Burkina Faso. It is truly impressive. Okay, I won't go through the details now, but I'm assure you it is truly impressive. Burkina Faso. We intend to go to Burkina Faso. If you're not aware, oh my gosh, I cannot be aware. We're going to visit Burkina Faso next year. And if you wish to join us, I urge you to indicate your desire to join us as soon as possible. Okay? I'm going to put the details now on the screen for you all, just to remind you why it's important. There you go. So we intend, with at least 200 to 300 people, to visit Burkina Faso between the weeks of the 26th of January 2026 to the 9th of February 2026. Okay, if you wish to join us to be a part of that important delegation from the diaspora to Africa to Burkina Faso, indicate your willingness to come along. Use this email address. It is as follows: the future is Burkina Faso at outlook.com. There you are. It's on the screen. We'll be visiting Burkina Faso, okay, on the 26th of January to the 9th of February. And if you wish to attend, please indicate by using this email address. The future is Burkina Faso. Yeah, the future is Burkina Faso at outlook.com. All we need from yourself is just your name, and we need a telephone number. Of course, we'll have your email address, and we'll then furnish you with the finer details. It will be truly an inspirational experience, and it's the motivator organizing it. Be assured it will be royalty all the way. Okay? Wow. Believe me, it's going to be truly an experience. So indicate now, because we are now beginning to tie up the details for you. Okay? There you are. Thank you. Thank you. So those are the announcements, important announcements, and recognition. There are many more announcements I could make, but I can't with the time allowed. Okay. But I now need to move on to the other important feature of these podcasts, and that is our lifestyle messages. The lifestyle messages are now a regular feature of the Motivator Show in recognition that our health is truly our wealth. In recognition, let me just say this to you all, that there are illnesses, particularly within the African heritage communities here in the West in particular, that are persistent illnesses and often avoidable illnesses. Fundamentally, they're caused by our lifestyle. How we live our lives, what we eat, what we do. I could allude to diabetes being one. I could allude to high blood pressure, hypertension being another. I can say emphatically, it is, of course, obesity or fatness that is pervading our communities. And of course, the lack of exercise within the communities. It is a clear and present danger. This is dangerous. I suggest to you all, we need to respond to these messages. Okay. You don't have to listen to me. Listen to the experts. Listen to what they're saying, what they're observing, and listen to their advice, not my advice. I'm not a professional. What I'm responding to are the facts, the details that show high levels of obesity within the African communities when compared to other communities, high levels of diabetes when compared to other communities. In the Caribbean alone, it's an obesity epidemic, but not being discussed widely. High blood pressure, another indication, as indicated by the doctors, high blood pressure, heart conditions, yeah, a lack of exercise, poor dietary. We've got to be mindful. So it's incumbent upon the motivator here in these podcasts, to spend just a few minutes, just a handful of minutes on key lifestyle messages. Stay with us. Stay with us. Help us to spread the word, because together we can make a difference, because in unity is strength. And I know you understand these words. I know you understand it. So please stay with us. I want you to listen to the words of this expert. Yes, he's Caribbean. Yes, it's true. African Caribbean. But he is the public health director for London. Listen to his advice about how we should live our lifestyle. Professor Kevin Fenton says, I'm a public health director. Here are 5 things you can do to improve your health. 1. Mindful and balanced eating. Nourish wisely. Eat whole, balanced meals with awareness to support energy and well-being. 2. Get outside. Be with nature. Time outside reduces stress, improves mood, and strengthens your connection to the world. 3. Stay curious, stay engaged, explore new interests, keep your mind sharp, build social contacts, and boost your happiness. 4. Get active, move it or lose it. Move daily, lift weight, and do cardio. Exercise, improve physical, mental, mood, and energy. 5. Prioritize rest and sleep. Disconnect, rest. Quality sleep supports mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall health. There you are. Simple messages. I urge you to replay his advice again and again and again, to incorporate his advice as part of your mindset. And together, we will make the difference for you, your family, your networks, and your wider communities. Because you are the change makers, as King Kabada of the African Continental Unity Party would say. You are the change makers, yeah? You can make the difference, because in unity is strength. And together we can transform the world. You don't need to be weighed down by taking these artificial medicines, the chemicalized treatment, yeah? You can rely upon the strength of your immune system to protect you from these maladies. Because you have it within your gift. In your gift, it's within your power, your strength to make a difference to your health. And together, you will make the difference to the world. You be an example, an exemplar for others to follow, even though you may not wish to, but you are the exemplar. You are the persons that will make the difference. We're all responsible for the conditions of the world we experience today. Yes, it's you, we, us. We are all responsible. We cannot assign that responsibility elsewhere. It is our responsibility to take care of our health and well-being. So what I'm heartened by is the numbers of you who've heard these messages, understood their importance, okay, and have incorporated them as part of your thinking, as part of your daily routines. You've come together with others and come together in common aim and common purpose, understanding. If we work together, we can transform our personal conditions, our families' conditions, our wider network community and communities' conditions, and thereby society's condition, because we're taking responsibility for our condition. In unity is strength. So I want to give you an example of a group of people who've come together in common aim and common purpose, understanding that working together, particularly when it comes to our health, which is truly how wealth has made the difference. This is a short exercise routine. Yeah, it's the Motivator Show. This is what you would expect. A short exercise routine. I wish to encourage you to participate in this short exercise routine. In 10 minutes, we'll have our main interview, but just listen and participate in this short exercise routine. It might make all the difference to the quality of your life. Okay. Listen and participate. Watch and participate. Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's it. Come on, get up off your chair now. Come on, get off your chair. That's right. Yeah, bend your knees. Oh, yes. You can do it. Ah! That's right, that's right. Let's bend our knees. That's right. Let's bend your knees. Nice and slowly does it. Oh, yes. Well done. Yes. Ooh. Ooh. That's right. I'm doing it right now myself. There we go. There we go. That's right. Whoa. Whoa. That's it. Stretch your arms up now. Stretch your arms. Come, join us. Let's stretch your arms. Just for a few moments. That's right. Stretch your arms. That's right. I can see you. Oh, yes. That's right. Ooh. That's right. There we go. Stretch your arms up and down. That's right. You're doing it right now. Well done. Well done. That's it. Yes. Oh, she's sweating. Oh, yes. You show them. Ah. Oh, yes. Oh. Look like they're dancing now. Dancing is good. Oh, he's definitely sweating now. That's right. They're big and they're small. They're wide and they're thin. They've come together in common aim and common purpose. They've even brought their children with them. There you are. Show the children that we adults can exercise responsibly. Yep. They inculcate those ideas as part of their consciousness. Teaching the children good habits. They take it into their adulthood. That's right. That's right. Bend your knees. Come on now. I really hope you're not sitting there watching this. I hope you're bending your knees. That's right. That's right. No one's embarrassing you. Just do it. That's right. That's right. God, Ishmael. He's doing it right. There you are. You see them? They've come together in common aim and common purpose. That's right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, see those bodies moving, huh? That's right. That's it. That's powerful, huh? Isn't that powerful? Wow. You've got to be proud of them. That's right. I really hope you're not sitting there watching this. Come on. It's only a minute. That's right. Whoa. Hey, oh my God. Oh, I feel my knees. Oh, I feel my knees. Oh, yes. Oy. Oh, that's right. Will make all the difference. That's right. You're doing well. You're doing well. Let's encourage each other. Just take care of each other. That's right. Stretch your arms out. Just lift your knees. That's right. Put your arms up and bend your knees. That's right. Makes all the difference. I know Professor Fenton would approve. There you go. Ah, brilliant, brilliant. That's right. They've got the right head there, haven't they? Ah, that's right. Oh, are you not sitting down? I hope you're not sitting down. Come, get back up. Come on. Just stretch your neck a bit. Come on. Makes all the difference. That's right. Okay. Oh, okay. That's it. That was good, huh? Only just 3 minutes of exercise. It makes all the difference. Just making the effort makes all the difference. It enables your body to regenerate itself, boost your immune system, protect you, help protect you for all the maladies that surround us. Okay? But the overall health and well-being regime is what's important. That's why Professor Kevin Fenton's, the public health director for London, his advice is so important to us all. Yeah? Those 5 very simple steps. Okay, replay them again. The recording here of this podcast. Just replay it again and again, and inculcate into your mind his words, so it becomes your actions. Because together, in unity, we can and will make the difference. I commend these health messages to you. Okay. But that particular group is based here in South London. Okay. I've been giving them particular attention because they're actually based here in South London. We can see the evidence that their numbers have been growing. People who have not exercised previously come together in common aim and common purpose, okay? And they've been able, it is outstanding, to encourage people who have not exercised together and may have one of these illnesses that I've mentioned, but have come together in common aim and common purpose and understanding that if we can develop these practices and spread these practices within the communities, it doesn't just have to be African, I might add, okay? Any community, these words of advice are applicable. Come down and meet them if you're in South London. Why not? Yeah, it'd be evidence of the Motivated Show's impact. There you are. They're based here in South London, number 12, Haytham Street. Yeah, that's in London, Wharf in London, and the postcode it's SE17. 1TN. They're there every Monday and Wednesday between 6:30 and 8 p.m. Okay? The email address, it's countdown0405@gmail.com. Telephone number, if you're in the UK, it's 07960-803-588. I commend the work of Countdown and similar organisations across Britain to you. It upholds the principles of the Motivator Show. Okay? Through good information, you're empowered to make good decisions. Praise be. Over to you now. All we could do is present information to you. It's for you to accept it and incorporate that information as part of your consciousness. But if in doubt, please ask questions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Well done. In a few minutes, we'll go to the main interview. But if you are on YouTube or Mixcloud, you wish to communicate to the studio, please use the chat facility. I see that there's some of you in the chat. Please use that chat facility. It's not a problem. Please do. And if you are new to the Motivator Show and you haven't subscribed, can I encourage you to do so? Okay. What it will do is tell the YouTube algorithm that the content, information that we're sharing It's useful, okay? And it's useful that others, therefore, should be made aware. Okay? That's all we try to do, is provide good quality information that is verifiable. You can check for yourself its integrity, its robustness, and use it for yourself and spread the word. We hope that YouTube will do the same. If you subscribe, it tells that machine, oh yeah, they like this content, we're going to spread the word. But before you go, if you don't subscribe, please give us the thumbs up at the very least. There you see it on the machine. Yep, it's there on the bottom of your screen, the ability to give the thumbs up or leave a comment. We welcome your comment, but please subscribe if you can, okay? But spread the word to others in your family, in your networks. And because together we can and we will make the difference. Okay. In 5 minutes, we'll go to the main interview. What I want to do right now, and thank you for that thumbs up there. Thank you for that thumbs up. What I want to do now is just give light to two other issues, social issues, of course, you'd expect the motivator to be involved in. One issue, and it'll be alluded into the interview as well, and that's, of course, the still ongoing Windrush scandal. Now, those of you who are in the UK, and some of you who are in the British former Commonwealth, so-called Empire, formerly, will recognise what I'm about to say. In the late 50s, early 60s, Britain called out to the Empire, to the Commonwealth, for those people there who spoke English to come and work in Britain, because Britain didn't have enough workers. Okay? So senior ministers from Britain went and visited the Caribbean and, of course, West Africa to encourage the people to come and work in Britain. In the Caribbean, it created a brain drain of people in the peak of their health, peak performance. Yeah, my parents were amongst them. Okay, and the bulk of these people were born during the time of the 1948 British Nationality Act, which said that persons born within the British Commonwealth were citizens of the Commonwealth and the United Kingdom also. Which therefore resulted in my parents not requiring, although they did have passport, but not requiring a passport to come and work here in this country. So tens of thousands, forgive me, hundreds of thousands of people from the Caribbean and Africa came to Britain to work in those jobs that were vacant for time because there wasn't enough workers here following the Second World War. But there's much to be said about that time. And if my parents were here now, they would have a lot to say. The organization that we'll be interviewing today, the Caribbean Social Forum, possess many people, hundreds of people, who are part of the so-called Windrush generation. Yeah? The pioneers, the Caribbean and African pioneers, who in the prime of their lives came to Britain with skills, experience, enthusiasm, determination to graft, to work hard, to pay their national insurance, to pay their taxes, to contribute positively to the life of times of Britain. And they did so with a determination, despite some people here giving my parents and hundreds of thousands of people from the Caribbean and Africa a hard time, a torrid time, an awful time. I pause there out of respect for them. But it is an important part of British history. Because my parents' generation, the pioneer generation, have affected Britain in so many ways. Culturally, spiritually, intellectually. You'll see in this interview coming up the contributions made. But the Windrush scandal remains a scar, a stain on British history, because it was Parliament, not some external force, it was Parliament that took away hundreds of thousands of people's nationality as a result of a series of successive acts of Parliament. Mhm. Can you imagine living in this country for 50 years and suddenly discovering one day that you no longer have a nationality because of an act of Parliament taking away what was yours, clearly against international law? But that is what happened here in Britain, called the Windrush scandal. An independent report determined it was a form of racism. Home Office, maybe called State Department in your country, independent report, it explicitly states, use those words. Powerful report. But it was, I must say, for the government to have allowed it to be an independent report and for it to be published, I would give my thumbs up to the government for doing so. Yeah? Thumbs up to the government for doing so. Now it's up to the government, particularly this new Labour government, to respond appropriately and resolve the issues around Windrush. I want to commend Anthony Brown. We've had him here, we'll get him back here soon, okay, on his campaign for a Windrush Act. And it was Parliament that took away the nationalities of hundreds of thousands of people who were just hard-working, honest people. There is Parliament that should correct this situation. Absolutely, absolutely. So first of all, if you are affected by the Windrush scandal, I want to put on this, yeah, there you go, on the screen, details of the Windrush Legal Advice Clinic. Do you remember those legal eagles that we had here in the studio last year? Okay, they're based at 58 Bank Street in the West Midlands. The email address to contact for legal advice, it's info@windrushlegaladviceclinic.com. Or telephone number, if you're in the UK, it's 01902 382 542. I commend the work of the Windrush Legal Advice Clinic. I also now want to give you details of how to contact Anthony Brown and join with him. Yeah, join with him to campaign for a Windrush Act. Absolutely, absolutely. He says, we're calling for a Windrush Act because actions speak louder than words. The time for action is now. Translate our words into action. And of course, the website address to contact Anthony Brown is the www.wdlegal.co.uk. There you are. Hashtag Windrush Act now. I urge you to reach out to him. All the help we can get, we need to continue to put pressure on Parliament, on the parliamentarians, to honour the promise of the last general election, that this issue will be resolved one way or another. Thank you. And thank you for all of you who have participated. Again, details will be found in the comment section of this podcast. Okay. And of course, this is a recording, so you can replay the recording and take note of all details that we declare in this podcast. All righty. All right. It is now time. Oh, forgive me. One more announcement. Forgive me. A country which I've not mentioned a great deal this year for a reason I do not understand, but it's one I want to mention now, and that's Nigeria. Nigeria is an incredibly important country, the largest economy in Africa, a dynamic economy, one displays guts and guile, yeah? One that is going places, yeah? An economy that is thriving, yeah? But could do better, but still has internal strife, okay? And it has yielded some incredible people, okay, One such is, of course, Ndidi Iwechu. Okay. My favorite, I have to say, I say it without any shame, okay, international journalist. Her writings are quite remarkable. I just want to remind you what she says about our collective responsibility. And she says this, I'll put it on the screen. Given the state of Nigeria, or indeed Africa, or indeed the Caribbean, I think people haven't yet made the mental link that they are responsible for the kind of existence that they hand over to their children. There you go. Ndidi Iwechu, okay? A powerful woman, a powerful human being. I commend her writings to you, a powerful human being. And we look forward to speaking to her soon here in the Motivators Studios, okay? Live from Nigeria, an important country, one we must pay close attention to. Very close attention to. As you know, we've had representatives of the various communities here, more recently the Yoruba peoples, and their campaign for their 1888 treaty with Britain. We recognize. I need to link up with them. Need to link up with them again. Okay? Absolutely. Powerful. And of course, the Igbo people, we had the chief here. We're going to connect with him again. Let's get back into gear with Nigeria. An important economy, powerful people. They will make the difference for Africa. Can you imagine if Nigeria and Burkina Faso, Niger and Mali and Ghana, Benin became a single nation, a truly Pan-Africanist nation? Wow! What an economy that would be! Wow! My gosh. Oh, anyway, Nigerians, you hear the enthusiasm? Oh my dear, that would be quite remarkable. But it takes vision, it takes guts, it takes guile for that vision to come about. My namesake is, it's Martin Luther King. Oh yeah. So I'm bound to make such speeches. I'm bound to make such statements. I'm bound to have that strive. Absolutely. I don't say I'm a Pan-Africanist as an idle word. I live and breathe it because that's the future for Africa in unity. We could do it without war or strife. We could do it through diplomacy, discussion, meeting of minds, identifying commonalities, and that is the basis for unity. Because in unity is strength. Praise be, praise be. Because clearly in the Caribbean, we have CARICOM, which has exactly that at its basis, unifying Caribbean states. But of course, the Africans from the Caribbean came here in large numbers, as I mentioned, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, okay, and had a profound impact on the life of times of Britain. These are stories not sufficiently narrated, held on social media or anywhere. And most certainly, I have not done it here on the Motivator Show, and that is to my shame. The Caribbean Social Forum is a powerful organization. It is the largest Caribbean organization in Britain. The others are all centered around nation state. This one encompasses all nation states across the Caribbean. And that's what gives it its influence, its power, its ability to make changes, to support, to harness resources and potential amongst the peoples. Today, we're going to hear from them. Today, we're going to experience them. Today, we're going to put the Caribbean on the map. I know that there are hundreds of South Caribbean who'll be watching this podcast. I urge you to share it with your family, your friends, and your network, okay? Listen to what the leaders of the Caribbean Social Forum have to say. Okay, I put a few awkward questions to them, and they responded happily. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It was truly a positive experience for me to interview them. So watch this space. Here we are. Listen carefully to what they say. Let me get the right one up. Here we go. Right, there we go. But if you've got any questions, I want you to put your questions in the chat. But watch this interview. Here we go. Hey, it's the motivator here. Remember, this is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. Look, today we have a representative of the Caribbean Social Forum who really live up to the motto of the Motivator Show. Yeah, they are a group of people who display the resilience that is truly the African resilience from the Caribbean. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we have here a representative of the Caribbean Social Forum, and she's smiling at me. Oh, look at that smile. Oh, yeah, yeah. Good morning, Thelma. How are you? How are you?
Good morning, Martin. I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm much better now. I'm much better now. Here, what I'm truly, it's indeed Martin. I'm now the motivator. Oh my God, yeah. It is good that you could join us today.
It's my pleasure.
And I'm, oh no, it is our privilege, if I may. Now, I know you, Thelma. I know you. Can I invite you, please, just to introduce yourself? Just say your name, um, your profession, okay, and the organization that you belong to.
My name is Velma McGregor. I
Mm-hmm.
am a retired teacher.
Mm-hmm.
The organization I represent is the African Caribbean Social Forum
Okay.
based in Greenwich.
Okay. I like the word. Did you put African at the beginning? I don't mind that. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Can I just ask though that the social forum? Okay. How long have you been a member of the social forum?
I've been a member of the Caribbean Social Forum for
Mm-hmm.
about 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
they've been going for 10 years, and
Wow.
I was working. But when I retired, I then joined them full time. So I would say about between 6 to 8. I'm not sure exactly. I wasn't keeping a check.
Okay. Not a problem. No problem. What's your role in the forum? What's your role?
Well, at the moment, I deal with marketing and
Mm,
promotion. So,
right.
yes,
Spreading the word. Spreading the word. In other words.
absolutely. We have to spread the word to all our people.
And I want to make a confession here, just for the benefit of my audience. I encountered the Caribbean Social Forum during COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, during COVID, we were not able to meet in person. Okay. People like myself were so used to be out and about amongst people, it was almost frustrating. I didn't know I was going to cope. Okay. So the Caribbean Social Forum kept me sane. Yep. You remember
Yeah.
those halcyon days? You remember that when we met
Oh,
so regularly via Zoom and all
yeah.
those people came on, entertained us, we had discussion. Do you remember, Filma? Do you remember?
Yes, I definitely remember. I mean,
Mm.
every day we had something different. We had
Mm-hmm.
quizzes online, we had
Mm.
link ups with different parts of the
Yes.
world, and
Yes.
also we had an exhibition online as
Yes.
well
Yes.
at the
Yes.
Stephen Lawrence Gallery. Yes,
Yes.
and dancing. I mean, we were there because there was nothing
Mm.
to do, but we would
Mm-hmm.
dance, we would
Yes.
sing. Where there was a
Yes.
also that was formed during lockdown. Yes, I remember
Yes.
meeting you there, Martin.
Oh, oh, wow. It was truly. for me, heartwarming experiences to come on and be amongst the Caribbean Social Forum membership, to meet you, meet Pamela and others. Oh my gosh, there were so many personalities. You know, I have to say, I would have. I've not had this opportunity since COVID to say this publicly. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for putting so much time and effort to organize each day. So for 4, 5, sometimes 6 hours, you seem to go on for a long time. But it was such a rewarding experience. And at the end of each session, I always had a smile on my face.
Absolutely. A lot of people did
Mm,
too. I mean,
mm,
we realized our members could not get out as they would do
yeah.
normally, and they still needed to be
Hmm.
kept informed on what is going on. And also,
Yeah.
again, what was there to do? So,
Yeah.
yes, we definitely
Yeah.
did all of that and
Thank
thoroughly
you.
enjoyed it. No,
It
thank
was.
you for
Oh,
acknowledging us. Thank you.
Oh, acknowledgement, absolutely. It was therapy. There were so many people who were just alone. Remember, there were so many that were alone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
they were able to join. Some people didn't say much, but they just experienced and wallowed in the comradeship, that friendship that
Yeah,
was being
absolutely.
expressed right across the ways. Mm,
Yeah, and I think one of the things for us
mm,
is they
mm,
might not be able to get out and glamorize themselves as they used to, but one of the things that
mhm.
we always said is that they had to dress up. We didn't
That's
we
right.
didn't do, we didn't do pajamas or whatever. You had to be dressed and
Yes,
glamorous
yes,
to come on as well.
yes.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I saw some rather glamorous woman there. This is true. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to call the names now, otherwise I get myself into trouble.
No,
Oh my
yeah,
God. Oh, well done. No, thank you. Thank you
yeah,
again for that
thank you.
positive experience. And what was marked is that we got to know each other. Okay.
Yeah.
For example, Firma, how long have you lived in Britain? Okay. And when was the last time you visited the Caribbean? Mhm.
I've lived in Britain since 1961.
Whoa,
Yeah,
61.
absolutely. And the last time I visited the Caribbean was 2018. We went to
Mm,
Jamaica to visit my husband's aged mother, who is
yes.
in her 90s.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
extend our.
absolutely.
And she's still with us. She's still with us.
Yeah, she's 96
Oh
and she's
wow.
still with us. Yes, thank God.
Good. Good. Thank God indeed. Extend our best wishes to her, please.
Thank
Yep.
you. I definitely
Please.
will. We'll speak to
Yeah.
her next.
Well said. And well said. And she's most probably eaten, untainted food. Food from the ground. Yes.
Yeah, most definitely, because when she was in England, she
Mm,
used to her little garden where she would grow
yes.
her produce. So yes,
Yes. Yes.
definitely.
Very recently, you see, we did a podcast on letting our food be our medicine,
Yeah.
and what was quite clear, particularly in Africa and indeed many parts of the Caribbean, that it's that traditional medicine, in other words, our plant, which is our medicine. So
Mhm.
food is our medicine, and she's probably a testament to it. Very much so.
He
Well
certainly
said.
is.
Mm. Is it interesting how we drift away from our roots? This is something we might have to get onto later on in this interview. Okay. And what I think you and I will acknowledge, okay, as we look at ourselves on the screen, it is clear to where we are descendants from. Okay.
Yes,
And it's most certainly true right across the Caribbean islands and places
yes,
there. Okay.
absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
and I wonder, maybe we could just talk about this for a few minutes. in your experience, because particularly, I'm from Jamaica, of course, and I can see strong connection between Jamaica and Ghana, for example, and of course the flag exemplifies that fact that same colours as Ghana, it's the same colour as the Jamaican flag.
Yes.
Um, let's spend a few minutes just trying to recall the different peoples that make up what we now call Africans there in the Caribbean, Well, let's think. I can think of the Asante people, and they're calm people, if you like, okay? The tree speakers and of course the Gar speakers. And we've had a number of them here on the Motivator Show. What other peoples can we recall that could be found in the Caribbean that are now alive here in Africa? Let's see now. What other people can you recall?
I think you've got some. We've got people from. Well, it was literally um, Central West Africa, um,
Mhm,
Nigeria, the
mhm.
Congo,
Yes,
Cameroon,
yes.
um, uh, Gambia. Yes,
Aha.
we were scattered all over.
Mm,
Um,
mhm.
they've come and they stopped off in different parts, but those are the most
Yes.
ones that I can remember.
Wow. And of course, we carry either consciously or subconsciously many of their traditions and stories. Now, again, in Jamaica, I don't know Ghanaians will recognize this when I use the fictional figure of Anansi Spiderman. Eh?
Yes, yes,
Hey, now, the majority of Ghanaians will recognize Anansi.
yeah,
They'll recognize, you know. Um, and as our linguistic styles, when I say una, now most West Africans will know that I mean many people.
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you see, and when I
yes,
say galang, go over there, you laugh, and, and we do this, and we say it is our culture, but it's that legacy memory of where we come from, and it is interesting. It is interesting as we recall some of that history that we take for granted. You mentioned a number of countries from which primarily many of the peoples in the Caribbean are descended from. So Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, or Cote d'Ivoire, Gambia, Benin, of course, Benin.
yeah,
If it goes further north from Ghana, that naturally includes Burkina Faso, Mali, and of course
yeah,
Niger. Uh-huh.
mhm,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely
The
recognize those
Congo,
people there.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And you mentioned Gambia already. So these are the typical countries that are important for us to remember. So within those countries, of course, we've had on this show uh, many of the Akan peoples, the Yoruba peoples we had here, the Igbo peoples, which we hope to have in the studio very soon. Okay. People from the
So,
Congo, of course, I also mentioned the Mendi from Sierra Leone,
mhm, mhm,
from Senegal and Guinea, or another group of people I know, Togo, and Benin. All those
yes,
peoples are part of the genetic profile that's in the Caribbean. I
yes.
think that is so important to keep emphasizing. I want to just continue to quote a few more names because I know that our people from the continent are watching this podcast and they want to hear their names mentioned. Okay, so for example, in fact, let me do it by island. Let me do it, I could do some of this by island. According to reports, research completed by both, I believe, Cambridge University in conjunction with the University of the West Indies, when looking at the profile of the various islands, this is what I've understood, Thelma. That is for Jamaica, Suriname, Guyana, Barbados, and Haiti, primarily made up of Akan peoples, okay, and Ivory Cote d'Ivoire. That's the genetic profile, okay.
Right.
Um, um, for people, if we take for the Yoruba people, and indeed Nigeria, Benin, uh, primarily made up in Cuba, Trinidad, Brazil. Okay, which is
Yes.
interesting. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, now, the Ibo people uh, can be found very much in Jamaica, Dominica, and other British colonies. Again, we all moved around a lot. Okay. Um, Another one that I've found in my research, interesting, San Domingo, or Haiti, in other words, Jamaican Cuba for people from Congo, Central African Republic, Angola, and Gabon. Interesting, yeah. Again, made
Yeah.
up in that genetic profile. Another one. You mention these other islands because if I don't mention them, I know I get a bad name otherwise. From from Guadeloupe, Martinique, San Domingo, and Jamaica. We've got the
Yes.
Mendi people. Got the Mendi people. The people from Mali, Senegal, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. That's where you find a lot of concentration of those people. Again, in Jamaica, Jamaica's a real hot pot. And if we look at Haiti, St. Lucia, Grenada, again Ghana, Togo, Benin people, the Iwu, and Son people.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Fascinating. Again, I
Yeah.
enjoyed this piece of research. Um, now the Wolof, the Fulani Hausa, again, they're
Mm-hmm.
from Senegal,
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, and Sahel region. Their people can be found in, again, Jamaica, Trinidad, and French Caribbean colonies. Okay. Wow. And that's just a summary of a few that I've found.
It's
So,
just a snapshot.
yes, there you go. So the Caribbean really does exemplify Pan-Africanism in live and well. Okay,
Yeah.
because we're not
Yeah.
fighting each other. We don't fight each other. Huh? We're not fighting each other. Okay, there's mutual respect and understanding. Okay, mutual respect and understanding. Okay, I did want to spend a few minutes of that because it's both for the young people and for those people from those countries who are viewing this podcast. They can appreciate that the Caribbean is truly a melting pot of all the tribal groups, all the tribal communities across the continent can be found in the Caribbean, which is why
Yeah.
you and I look the way we look. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you are.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you, I use the AfricanAncestry.com. This is where they profile your genetic material. Okay. And it would appear that my particular I'm primarily from Benin, apparently. And that's where my genetic material suggests that I'm mostly from, my family lineage from mostly from, which is fascinating. I'm told that they're very spiritual and, yeah. Anyway, there you are, from mine from Benin. Have you ever had your genetic material profiled?
No, I haven't, but I do know some members of the
Hmm.
Caribbean Social Forum have had theirs done and were quite surprised at what they
Mm-hmm.
found.
Yeah.
And as you were saying, a lot of people had Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the Benin and the Yoruba tribes were one
Yes.
thing that was mentioned to me by
Yeah.
some of the members. Yeah, I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
suppose it's something really that it's fun to do.
Yes,
And
yes.
more people,
It's our heritage, though,
it's
Thelma. It's our
interested. Yes,
heritage. Yes,
yeah, yeah. And
yes.
we mustn't forget that.
Yeah, it's our heritage. And it's part of this indoctrination. You and I speak English. Very proper English. Okay.
Yeah.
And but yet, and we've and because of being away from our roots for so long,
Long, yes.
in our family line, we were not able to speak our native tongue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've been trying to do is to rekindle some of that memory by attending Yoruba classes. I attend Yoruba classes to speak Yoruba, and hopefully, give it a year, I might feel more confident to speak a little bit of Yoruba in public.
Let, you never know. Absolutely. I mean, it's so
Okay.
important in terms of the language. I mean, don't forget, Martin, we were never
Hmm.
taught that in schools.
Indeed not. Indeed.
And
Indeed
our,
not.
and our parents were
Hmm.
so, as you say, indoctrinated. They did
Hmm.
not want us to speak anything apart
Hmm.
from the English language.
Indeed, that's right.
Yeah,
That's all part of that indoctrination.
yes.
Yes, it is it is a challenge. It is a challenge, but I see the renaissance. I
Oh,
see that the phoenix is rising. You know, I see great things on the horizon. Mm.
I certainly hope so, because we owe that to the younger generation.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. We have not forgotten our heritage, right?
No, and we
Very
must
good.
not forget that.
We will never forget it. There you are. There you
No,
are. Can I just now just move us on? Because now we've created some contacts of the Caribbean
okay.
social form and the people. Okay.
Yeah,
But to help the audience appreciate the peoples and contributions of African Caribbean heritage today, can you name 5 individuals of African Caribbean descent living in Britain, famous people that the audience and others can, as a reference point, who could we point to? Uh, can I just point to one before you start? If I get this one in, if I may, hope you don't mind. Um, um, David Lammy. David
yes,
Lammy is now the Deputy Prime Minister. David Lammy's family, he's from Guyana. Enough
yeah,
respect to the people of Guyana. Come on now. Enough respect to
absolutely.
them.
Who
Deputy
would have
Prime
thought?
Minister of Britain. Can you
Who would
remember
have
it?
thought?
When his parents arrived in the 60s, they would never believe that their son will become the Deputy Prime Minister of Britain. What a thing is.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. I would
Hmm.
say Diane Abbott.
Oh,
Uh,
another
really, I
famous,
mean,
absolutely.
she really is the mother of the
Hmm.
house.
Absolutely. She is the mother of the house. Yes, absolutely right. The house, and just for the audience, when we say the house, we mean the House of Parliament. She is the
Yeah.
longest serving woman MP in Parliament today. Wow.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
The
Mhm.
other one I would name would be Tim Campbell, who was the
Mhm.
first, Tim Campbell, MBE. He was the
Yes.
first person to win, or black person to win The Apprentice. And we see him, yeah, we see him
It's
most
true.
mornings on Good
Mhm.
Morning Britain. So, I
We do
mean, I'm
indeed.
sure
Yes.
people would remember that.
Uh-huh.
The other
Okay.
one for me, I would like to mention
Hmm.
is Beryl Gilroy. I know she sadly left us, Guyanese,
Uh-huh.
who,
Yes.
and she,
Uh-huh.
yeah, she was one of the first heads in the primary sector in Britain.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
true. Yes. Well said. Yes, it's true. I came into public life as a school governor, and her name was required studying and reading. Her success in working with young people from diverse background was second to none. She was a true trailblazer. Yeah, let's honor that memory. Let's honor her memory. Well done.
absolutely. And
Mm,
again,
mm,
being in
mm,
education, another one I would mention would
mm,
be Yvonne Connolly, who was a Jamaican, who arrived in
mm,
Britain in the 60s, and again
mhm.
was the first black head in
Yes,
the secondary sector. So
this is
again,
true.
that's
Yes.
another one. I think,
Yeah.
big up
Yes.
to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would to he's alive, but Patrick Vernon, okay,
Of course,
Professor Vernon.
of
Now, of
course.
course, now if I get this right, and he's got a number of strings to his bow. Now, hopefully, I won't get this completely right, but anyway, I'm sure he'll write me accordingly. But he was a founder member of the Windrush Foundation. That's right, Windrush,
We-
the Windrush
Yeah,
Connection.
with Sam King, who
Oh
passed away.
yes. Yes. Now, Sam King, I'm based in London, Southwark in London. Okay. He was the first black mayor of Southwark in Southwark. Yeah. Back in the 1980s. Let's remind myself, in the 1980s. And he was one of my mentors as to why I entered public life and indeed politics because of Sam King. So well said. Well said. Well said.
Excellent, well done. And I
Mm.
think the last one I would mention is Naomi Campbell, who is a model.
Oh, okay.
And her mother is Jamaican. She was
Mm.
born in Britain. Her mother is
Mm.
Jamaican. And I think a lot of young people would try to emulate what she has
Mm.
achieved. I mean, she was a trailblazer
She
for,
most certainly was.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. She most certainly was. You know. Let me put this name in. The name is Joyce Fraser. Joyce Fraser, the founder of the Black History Foundation. Okay,
yes,
a
yes,
critically important foundation. It's a resource for schools and colleges to use, because you and I remember growing up here in Britain. You will remember that the only history, African history, that we taught in British schools was the enslavement of our ancestors.
absolutely. Yes,
When in
yes,
fact, African history is the original human history.
yeah,
Human history. Yep. The first cities in the world are found in Africa. Okay. The first astronomers are African. The first mathematicians are African. Can you imagine? The first geographer is an African man.
yeah.
Okay? The richest man ever, Mansa Musa,
The
is an
Musa.
African man. There you
Yes,
go. There you go.
yeah,
And the list can go on and on and on. But yet, in British schools, up until more recent decades, can you believe it or not, in the 20th century, the only history that was taught to British children was the enslavement of African peoples, which which
yes,
is which is part of the perpetuating of the idea of the British people, European people being in some way more, what's the word? I'm not going to use that word,
no,
but
no,
clearly, it gives a distorted view of Eurasia, where we are at the moment, and
no.
most certainly distorted the contribution to world history made by our African ancestors. Hmm.
Yes, no, absolutely. We cannot perpetuate that.
Hmm. Hmm.
It has to
Hmm.
come aligned. I mean, we did start to look at that when we
Hmm.
had the GCSE's poems from other cultures, as
Yes.
well
Uh-huh.
as there was some other texts that were used that reflected the cultural differences. However, successive education ministers,
Hmm.
let name one, Michael Gove,
Hmm.
done
Yes.
away with that, and the only
That's right.
people who were taught were white males and the ones who were dead.
That's right. That's right. And for the psychology of tens of millions of children, they were
Yeah.
disturbed by that historic distortion. Okay,
Yes.
I think part of the reason why the right wing have been able to gain foothold in Britain, because, and it starts with the monarch, I might add.
Mm,
They perpetuated such a distorted view of British history and British people, that the poor, working class don't know whether they're coming or going. So they believe every bit of propaganda must be true
of
as a
course.
result. It is
But
very,
but we
very,
differently.
most certainly, most certainly. I want to give a shout out, if you don't mind, to someone who's alive but has set the Formula One circuit on fire. I want to give a
Ah,
big shout
yeah,
out to
and
Lewis
we don't-
Hamilton.
yeah,
Yeah, yes, 7 times world champion, the first
yeah,
British person to
yeah.
become a 7 times world champion. Okay, and he's still racing now. He's hoping, we hope in the not too distant future that he become an 8 time world champion, which will make him an all-time great for the entire world. Okay, and that's what we've got to look forward to. That's what we've got to look forward to. Okay, but I did want to give a big shout out to um, uh, uh, um, uh, Lewis Hamilton, and I also want to give a big shout out to and you don't mind me saying this because I had a crush on her when I was younger. Sorry,
Okay.
people. Her name was Maura Stewart. Do you remember
Oh,
the
it really
newsreader
yeah,
broadcaster?
definitely.
She's a Barbados, she's a Bajasian, yeah. Bajan father.
Yeah.
I have to say, Timmy, I just loved her accent, and whenever she was on, I found myself, I stopped whatever I was doing, and I used to watch her like this. And my mum used to tell me, my eyes were wide open. I don't know. I was only a little boy, but I'm just captivated by her. Oh, dear me. Anyway, there you are. Give away my secrets now. There you are.
Yeah, but it's like me, Sir
Mhm,
Trevor
mhm.
MacDonald. I used to
Ah,
always
another one.
again, think, oh wow, and he was
Yeah.
so articulate, and
Yes.
the ease with which he delivered everything. I'm like,
Yes.
wow, okay, yeah,
There you go. I don't want to give further promotion to some of our creative talent. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
and one that I met via, I hadn't seen her live until I met her via the Caribbean Social Forum. I want to give a shout out to a reggae star of the lovers rock genre, and that's of course Carol Thompson. Yeah. Do you
yes,
remember? Do you remember she came on and she sang
yeah,
for us? You know,
yeah.
oh,
I mean,
Carol Thompson.
yeah, a lot of artists would come
Yes,
on because they had nothing to do. So they would
that's right.
entertain us. And as you rightly
Yes,
said, Carol Thompson was
yes,
one of those
yes,
who
yes.
entertained us.
Mm.
Wow. Yes, I do remember. It's all coming back now, Martin.
There you are. There you are. There you are. I was captivated by her because I bought her record as a teenager, as it were. Okay, but I'd never ever seen her live perform those records.
Yes.
Can you imagine? As a
Uh,
teenager, I'd never seen her. It wasn't until I saw her via the Caribbean Social Forum and actually
yeah.
seen her perform a record, those tracks that I played hundreds, if not thousands of times over the
Yeah.
previous 20 or 30 years. Thank
Yes.
you, Caribbean
Yes.
Social Forum.
It's our pleasure. We certainly cherish those memories.
Yeah. Yeah. And just for the audience, we've only touched the tip of the iceberg of the positive contributors, people from the Caribbean who've made a positive contribution to British life. We've quoted some who've passed and some who are alive right now, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. And if
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
if there's a shout out I want to give, and this goes back to Patrick Vernon, one of his publications, the 100 Great Black Britons, okay, that publications, I want to give a big shout out for it. And if you haven't obtained a copy of it, I would give a recommendation. You'll see people, African Caribbean heritage, uh,
Yes.
they are well represented in that publication. 100
Brilliant.
Great Black Britons. Okay, all right, there you are. Again, that was just we did a quick cantor around the many Black Britons from the Caribbean who've made a positive contribution. Professor Gus John, I know I should have mentioned you, Professor. Forgive me. We got to mention his name. His contribution has
Yeah.
been second to none. Okay. Uh, oh, a quick shout out, of course, to Anthony Brown, who's leading the charge to ensure that we secure a Windrush Act of Parliament to secure enshrined in law the rights of those who were born, particularly those who were born before the countries gained independence, came to Britain, but then had their nationality stripped away from them as a result of a series of legislation passed by Parliament. Okay? So it's important, therefore, that Parliament gets it right. And therefore, I'm going to give a big shout out to Anthony Brown. He's been here on the Motivated Show as a great Caribbean man of distinction who is not afraid to talk to you no matter whatever position, your social class or education, he will speak confidently to you about the rights of people of Caribbean heritage, their right to be in this country, and indeed, he remind the entire country of the positive contributions that we've made to the life and time of Great Britain. Agreed, Firma? Agreed?
Absolutely agreed. Yes, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm. And we're just touching the tip of the iceberg. And what I will do in the comment section of this podcast, it put links to the various references we've made today, and the 100 Great Black Britons is one reference I would include in the links for you all to have a look at. Obtain a copy of that publication. It is truly an inspirational read. Wow, thank you. That was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. And you even got out of me my childhood crush on Morris Stewart.
And my admiration for oh my goodness, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. As we're conversing, I better kind of put my barriers down now. I'm giving away too many of my secrets here. Okay. Okay. Now, what I want to do now, I just want to move on, and in this terms of our conversation, 'cause we've kind of put some context, and we've now indicated the contribution of people of Caribbean descent, of how we've contributed to Britain and British society, how we shaped the society, its culture and traditions. Okay, and of course, the Caribbean slang have been very much incorporated into so-called British speak, as it were. Wherever you come from the Caribbean, you can hear some of your lingo, some of our tongue, as an integral part of the British slang. It's interesting. It's interesting to hear English people use words such as "wabm." The Englishman said "wabm."
Wagwan.
I said "wagwan, wabm." Why? I look at it. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Or they use the word "massive." Oh, and that massive. I'm
Yeah.
looking and say, okay. Oh, yeah. It, it, so we've become an integral part of
Yeah.
Britain's linguistic landscape, okay? And
Yeah.
they use it as if it's their own now. And so that merging has occurred at a very high level, and I'm really pleased that has happened. Okay, I'm really pleased. So thank you for that. Going down memory lane.
No, my pleasure. Takes me back
Mhm.
too.
Hmm. But I want to, if I may, not go back too far, but I want to just touch on this particular subject. Again, another reason why the Caribbean Social Forum exists, I know. Is it true, Thelma, that our parents' generation, the pioneer generation, was invited by successive British government, both Labour and Conservative governments, to live and work in Britain because the majority of us indeed speak English as our first language, and most of our parents were born British by virtue of the 1948 British Nationality Act, which granted automatic British citizenship to people born in then Commonwealth countries.
Mhm.
Now, even though our parents were encouraged, invited to come to Britain, okay, they nevertheless experience amongst the most, I have to say, with a heavy heart, the most degrading experiences when seeking, for example, to rent properties and other indignities were heaped upon them upon their arrival in the late 50s and 60s in particular.
Yes,
Is that a memory that your own parent can recall and you recall, Thelma?
absolutely, Martin. I
Tell
remember,
us more. Mhm.
well, I remember my parents saying to me that the house that they live in, which they
Mm.
bought, they got the money to do it from throwing a partner. Because when they
Oh,
went to the banks,
what's that? Oh, you need to tell the audience what a partner is.
okay, a partner is where you have a banker and
Mm-hmm.
everyone puts in a hand. The hand could be £20 a week, and the
Mm-hmm.
draw takes place maybe 2, 3 weeks after, and then
Yes.
it's in order, and you get your hand maybe £300. The other
Mm-hmm.
week, the other time, someone gets it, and so on. Um,
Mm.
for your audience, the Bank of England actually did a very good exhibition. I think it should be online about partner, so they might want to
Hmm.
look at.
Okay,
Um,
I'll include that. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. The banks wouldn't give them money because they
Hmm.
had nothing to trade with.
Hmm.
Um, and getting rooms or whatever was very
Hmm.
difficult because, of course, it
Yes.
was the no dogs, no cats, no blacks,
Hmm.
no,
Hmm. Hmm.
they had all of those. Going to work, they couldn't tell what, this is again what I was told, they couldn't tell the foreman or the woman that they had their own property because,
Hmm.
oh, that means they're earning too much. And
Hmm.
yes,
Hmm.
there's the danger of them losing that job. So there was, I
Absolutely.
mean, it was
Hmm.
very degrading when they
Hmm.
first came. And some of the things, as you said, that I was told, you're like, really?
Hmm.
Wow. So, they were the pioneers because they paved the way for us
Yes, and
to
they had
actually,
to withstand. I was going to say they withstood the sort of the skinheads, the black shirts, all these awful people
yeah,
who
the
just wanted to
skinheads,
commit
the,
violence.
the, yeah,
Mm.
the Teddy Boys. I
Mm-hmm.
remember being told that my father had to run away because he was
Mm-hmm.
being chased by
Mm.
skinheads who,
Yeah.
the usual, go back to your country. Well,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm British because
Yeah.
I was
Mm-hmm.
invited to come here. So
Yes.
yes, there was a lot of things that went on.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I think for them, some of the things wasn't they felt ashamed, I would say,
Yes.
to actually
Yeah.
talk about what they went
Yes.
through. And
Okay.
some found it very painful because
Yes.
in the Caribbean, there are so many cultures, as we know, and
Mm-hmm.
racism and all of that. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
experience that until they came
Mm-hmm.
to the mother country.
Yes, okay. And it is interesting, of course, Filmer, that you use the term mother country, of course, you know. It is interesting, and I hear it amongst Caribbean people still. It is interesting, because, of course, the idea of a mother country being here in Europe, and we look at
Yeah,
the way we do, it's fascinating, huh? It's fascinating.
yeah,
But that's just go to show the education that we were exposed to, both in the Caribbean
yes,
and to a limited extent here in the UK, and how people of different social class are able to control other social class.
yeah,
That thinking. Um, but our parents' generation most certainly experienced the horrors of living in
mhm,
Britain, but their contribution to Britain, their
oh,
economic contribution, is second to none.
yeah.
They were hard workers. The National Health Service would not exist today if it wasn't
British
people
Rail
from the
wouldn't
colonies.
exist.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
trains, the
The
buses.
train, the transport system would not exist today if it wasn't for people from the Caribbean. Yeah, it was people such as my dad would have told you, people like Enoch Powell.
The rivers of blood
He
speech.
Hey, but he
Yeah,
visited Jamaica. He visited Jamaica to
he did.
encourage Jamaicans when he going to different islands. He visited Jamaica to encourage Jamaicans to come to Britain.
Mm,
Yep, and work. There are job vacancies, and the reason for the job vacancies, of course, is because the war, the numbers of men were limited, and therefore they took the most able-bodied, the most intelligent people from the Caribbean. So there's a significant brain drain from the Caribbean to Britain.
that's right.
A
And
significant brain drain.
And the thing is, as well, Martin,
Mm.
some of them
Hmm.
actually
Hmm.
volunteered. They didn't have to
Yes,
be asked. They volunteered to come
yes.
again to fight for the mother country. Because don't
There you
forget,
go.
we were governed by Britain.
Mm.
I came
That's
here
right.
on a British passport. My mother
Hmm.
came on a
Yes,
British passport.
yes,
It's
yes.
all there.
Yes,
So the scandal, well, outrageous, absolutely.
totally outrageous. And you mentioned our ex-service men and women. Just a moment there in passing. Let's give a big thumbs up to people from the Caribbean who served in the First and Second World
World
Wars. Okay, let's give
literally.
a big thumbs up to them. Yeah, thumbs
Yeah.
up, and we hope to do a special podcast to celebrate their memory in the not too distant future, in the run up to Remembrance Day in November 11th. Okay, we'll
Absolutely.
do a special. Mhm.
And as we're giving shout out, I would like to give a shout out to one of our members. I'm not
Mhm.
sure if I'm allowed to say his name, but Gilbert Clark, who is 99.
Oh yes, yes, I
He's
remember
one of
Gilbert
our
Clark. Yes,
yes, and he was not known by the powers that be until he joined the Caribbean Social Forum, and
hmm
we insisted that he be given the recognition that he deserves. He's now
absolutely.
friends with the Queen and the King.
Wow, they
Yes,
were. Well,
yeah,
but
and he'll be
we what we got to
140 member.
we need to make sure we take care of him so he lives to 100. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Definitely. He never forgets us. He
There you
always
go.
mentions the Caribbean
I,
Social Forum because
I
it was
remember.
for us that he
Yes.
moved on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do remember. I remember. And again, and someone else who loved natural food. You know, he know
Yeah.
hard for yum and banana. Love him. Curry goat. Oh my dear. Uh, untainted food. Food from the
Yeah.
ground. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh. Yeah, it is interesting, and it's a part of British history.
Yeah.
Look, I know the monarch has mentioned this in passing,
Mm,
but we've yet to receive an apology from the monarch
yeah.
because the monarch's mother was the monarch in the 60s. You know, yep,
That's right.
and yep, and therefore she was there throughout that time. And and whilst I'm going to give a thumbs up to Theresa May, who at least apologised and
Yeah.
recognised the so-called Windrush generations were British. Okay, she actually said it in Parliament and to the Commonwealth heads of government meetings as well. At least she said
Mm,
that.
yeah.
What I don't recall, and if I've got this wrong, I'm happy to be corrected, the monarch apologizing for the experiences that our parents and some of us experienced in the 50s and 60s and 70s.
I don't
Uh,
remember reading anything about that either.
you know,
So
because the monarch is not prepared to apologize for the behavior of the monarch's um, 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 I was about to say citizens, but subjects, as it were,
yeah,
subjects.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
then if the monarch's not prepared to do so, it's little wonder the right wing appear to be on the rise today because those in power are not prepared to stand by their moral guts and said, "This is what we believe in. We believe in equality for all." Okay, and therefore we are going to stand shoulder and shoulder with our diverse communities. Yeah? Now,
yeah,
that is that would be a significant step forward, a significant step forward if the monarch could find the courage to speak in such terms. But you never know. Who am I? I'm just a little podcaster in the
we,
backwater
we,
somewhere.
we live in hopes that maybe one day it will
Mhm.
happen. Who knows?
Yes. But recording the history of Caribbean peoples when we came over en masse, and that early history, the disgraceful part of British history, and this is specifically, I note, in England. Okay,
Yeah,
I can't say that there were similar experiences in Wales or Scotland, but I can say, and we can say with confidence, this happened in England. Okay,
yes, we did.
okay. So I don't want those who are Welsh or Scots to feel way about what we're describing here. This is
No,
very much an English problem. Okay, an English problem that I don't believe has completely gone away. Gone away. But that's why I mean we need people in leadership with moral fibre. who could stand by their principles and not be shaken, not be shaken. Mhm. And it was necessary just to recall this history because what it does, it puts into further context as to why the Caribbean Social Forum exists. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I've
absolutely.
got, I want to um, ask you a question, and forgive me for being so blunt. This is me, huh?
Okay.
Do you, Thelma, plan to return to the Caribbean, or do you intend to stay in Britain for the remainder of your days?
Right, Martin.
Hmm.
I tend to stay here. Why? I've paid
Yeah.
into the system. I didn't pay it into the Caribbean, I paid it in England. And I want to make sure that all my years of
Mhm.
hard toil, that I
Yes.
get what I deserve. It is my
Absolutely.
right. I
Yes.
will visit the Caribbean, of course, my family are there. But in terms of
Mhm.
everything else, I am here because I've paid into the system.
Well
So,
said. Well
no,
said.
I would not be going back just yet.
Well said. Well said. You paid your national insurance, yes? You remember the it used to be
Yeah,
connected to NHS, one of national insurance, and you paid your taxes, and you most probably paid hundreds of thousands of pounds over the past decades, yes? So you
yeah,
made a major investment for your retirement, yes?
yeah. And my
Yeah,
children and grandchildren are here.
absolutely,
But this is
absolutely.
where I will
Well
be
said.
staying.
Well said. So those of the particular ilk who suggest that Caribbean peoples should go back to the Caribbean after the best years of their lives were working, toiling,
Yeah,
working for Britain and creating incredible wealth for
yeah,
Britain, okay, you
absolutely.
absolutely have a right to a quiet and restful retirement. Yeah,
Mm.
you paid into it. It's time. It's high time for you to yield those receipts, those rewards.
I've
Well said.
earned it,
Well said.
earned it.
You've earned it. Absolutely,
Yeah,
you've earned it, and no one should take it away from you. I totally agree. Let that message ring loud around London, around Parliament, around Buckingham Palace
yeah,
or Windsor, wherever places. Let's say it's clear. We're here to stay.
yes,
Praise be.
definitely.
Praise be. Well said. Thank you. And I like the way you said it. I like the way you said it. You've earned it. You said you
I've
earned it.
earned
You
it.
paid
I've
your
earned
national insurance. You paid your taxes. You've earned
it.
it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there you are. And do you know you didn't blink once when you were saying that? So I know you mean it.
I mean it.
Thank you, Firma, because
Yeah,
your words reflect hundreds of thousands of people from the Caribbean who spent the best part, forgive me, all of their working life, their best part of their best years here in Britain,
yeah,
paying their national insurance, paying their taxes on time. So they're absolutely entitled
yeah,
they've earned their retirement in peace and contentment.
yeah.
Well said. Thank you. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thank
much for
you.
that. And now, what I'd like is your emphatic words. You've earned it. You've earned it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, if I may, now you've said that, okay, this is for me now. Then taking us on to the Caribbean Social Forum.
Yes.
Why? Why set up the Caribbean Social Forum, and why not call it? Forgive me for saying this. The Jamaican Social Forum, the Trinidadian Social Forum, the Barbadian Social Forum, the Guyanese Social Forum. Why call it the Caribbean Social Forum? Tell us.
Okay. Right. Our strength, Martin, is in
Uh-huh.
unity.
Praise God. Tell them, yes.
Our strength is in unity.
Hmm.
The word Caribbean means that we open our doors to all. everyone
Yes.
is welcome,
Yes.
whether
Yeah.
from Jamaica, Grenada, Trinidad, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. Or
Mm-hmm.
whether you're from Nigeria, or whether you're from Wales, Scotland, wherever,
Mm.
we open
Yes.
our doors to all.
Yes. Yes.
Because the Caribbean
Mm.
reflects our
Mm.
shared interest
Yes.
and our common struggle and the
Yes.
collective achievements that we all strive to have.
Mm-hmm.
That is why
Mm-hmm.
I called it the
Mm.
Caribbean Social Forum.
Well said. Well said. When did it come? When did it start? It started how long ago now?
10 years. We
10 years. 10
celebrated
ago. Yes.
10th anniversary earlier this year. 10 years ago it started.
We should give a shout out to Pamela. Should we not mention her now? Is
Yes,
at this point?
absolutely. I mean, our
Mm.
chair and
Mhm.
CEO, the vision and everything that we have achieved is as a result of what Pamela
Mhm.
does. She
Mhm.
is incredible.
Yes.
Sometimes we
Yes.
ask her, well, how do you do it? We don't know how she does it, but she does it. So, whatever we've achieved, we've had placards to
Mhm.
acknowledge what we've got. We
Mhm.
have been mentioned in, I think, number 10, I'm sure, number
Uh-huh.
10,
Yes. Uh-huh.
us,
Yes. Yes.
especially during what we achieved in lockdown.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Pamela Franklin is amazing.
Absolutely. I want
Oh,
to attest to
Martin, I
that.
should say
Absolutely.
Dr. Pamela Franklin.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes, it's Dr.
We
Pamela.
become so familiar, huh?
I know,
Yes.
but let's give her her
Mm.
title.
Absolutely. Uh, and I just at this point want to say that um, she is one of the most remarkable human beings
Yes,
I've encountered. There's so many women I encounter, or privileged to interview them on these podcasts. She's one of those remarkable human beings. And I know she won't mind me saying this, but Pamela has a disability. Yeah, she has a disability. She can't
yes,
get around easily, but despite her disability, oh my God, she's the equivalent to a man, a 10-foot strong genius man with a genius of a brain. That's what she's equivalent to.
yes. I would say
Remarkable human being. Yeah, remarkable
most
human being.
definitely. She, as we said, as I said before, we don't
Mm.
sometimes, she doesn't think like us. She thinks on a different level. So we
Yeah.
can't always get into what she's doing. But when it
Yes.
comes together, the plan
Mm.
comes together.
Mm.
We know
Yes.
what she's capable of.
Yes. A remarkable human being. That's what I'm going to attest again. She is a remarkable human being. And, and what she's been able to achieve is that if there was any angst between the different islands, the Caribbean Social Forum has overcome those
Yes,
angst and it
yes,
built bridges across the entire Caribbean. So,
yes.
regardless where you're from the Caribbean, we can all occupy the same